Hi there, my name is Perry and I'm with Code Virginia, and this is our last tutorial in the Guess the Number game. Thank you so much for following along this far. I think you will be pleased with the outcome. The last time we were here, we talked about concatenation and about bringing two different items together into a new output or something like that. And you can see that in the fourth tutorial. In this last and fifth tutorial, what we're going to do is we're going to solve the biggest problem of this project. If you notice, I can only run through this cycle once. So what happens is when I click, it goes through, and then when I reach this point, either I have guessed a number that's too low, or I've guessed a number that's too high, or I've guessed the number. When I get to here, when it cycles all the way through to the end of my code, that's it. That's all I can do. And so I'm kind of stuck in this place where I cannot continue to play the game unless I change something about that. So what I want to do is actually, I'm going to create this entire part that is starting at the ask. I'm going to create what's called a subroutine. The subroutine is made through my blocks right here. I'm going to make a block, and this block is going to be called, I'm going to call it make guess. That allows me to make this callable. Like I can use this over and over and over again, and I can re-trigger the sequence to run. This is a crucial step and an important part of creating a game because you don't want to get stuck at the end of your sequence and want more input or want someone to be able to still continue to play the game and not have all the parts that they or not be able to continue it on, right? The other option would be to go through this and make a whole bunch of nested statements. So I could say if the number is too low, then we could take another if statement and put it in here and do another ask, what number do you choose? And then like it would just go on forever and ever and ever. And there's no way to know how many times that somebody's going to have to guess before they get to the last one, which is if the number equals the right number, then do this, right? So there would be so much layering and nesting and embedding if statements into the rest of the code. So that just is not a viable option. I could do it, but it's not efficient whatsoever. And it would take a lot of my time. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to create a function, right? This my block, this make a block is something, I'm going to call it make guess. And what it allows us to do is to define basically a library of, like this is a library call, like we're making our own callable thing. We're saying that make guess now, if I would call make guess, it's going to do all these things. So what the first place where I want to put make guess is right here. So at its where it's at right now, it is exactly the same as it was before I defined make guess and added it in, right? So let's just look through it sequentially. When this is clicked, set the number between to a random number between 1 and 100. Say, pick a number between 1 and 100 for 4 seconds. And then go to the library call for make guess, right? And so we go over here and we say, ask, what number do you choose? And wait. And then do this. And then do this if it applies. And then check this. And if it applies, do this. And then check this. And if it applies, and then it's done, right? But what we want to do is cycle it over. The only way that a user has out of this game is if they engage this block right here. So what we want to do is actually use this make guess inside of the sequence of guess. And that will, as soon as it sees this, it goes back to the top and it'll do it again. And so I need it one more place. I don't want it to go down here because if I put make guess down here, it's going to, even though I've guessed the correct number, it's going to keep on cycling through and ask for more guesses. So I only need it where the guess is incorrect. So once again, if I read through this, when it jumps to make guess, it goes over here to the definition of make guess, which is a subroutine. It will ask, what number do you choose? And it'll wait. And then it'll set the variable my number to whatever that answer was. Then after that, it's going to check to see if my number is greater than the number that was selected by the computer. And if so, it will do this and this and then it will go to make guess again, which takes it back to the top of the subroutine. It'll run through this again. It could go here again and then jump up, or it could get to here and say, no, this is false. And so then it would pop down here and it would say, your guess is too low. You'll have to guess higher than that number, and then make guess, which will take us all the way back up to the top. So now if we run it, I'm picking a number between 1 and 100. And when I pick a number between 1 and 100, let's do 45. That's too high. My guess is too high. It should pop up again. You'll have to guess lower than 45, and then there we go. Then I'll say 20. Your guess was too low. So now I'm in this one right here. I'll have to guess higher than 20. Let's try 30. Oh, my guess was too high. I'll have to guess lower than 30. So between 20 and 30. And I'm just gonna, it's a wild guess, but let's try 28 and see what happens. Yes, you guessed my number. And then that is the end. So this simple program could be changed in a couple of different ways if you would like to. Play around with it, apply it to some other things, and see what you can make it do. The last and final thing that I will do is these numbers were really helpful in the debugging, but if I'm going to share this out, I actually don't want these around. I don't want these on my screen. So I'm going to go back to variables, and I'm going to unclick my number, and I'm going to unclick number. That way those variables don't show on the screen anymore. They're still there. They're still operating. They're still containers that hold information for me. And that's exactly what I needed to do. It's just not on the screen. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Share it with friends. Share online your project that you created, and don't forget to hashtag CodeVA. Join us again for some other Scratch videos. I'll be creating a few more, which you can get from our YouTube channel. So thank you very much. Once again, my name is Perry, and I'm from Code Virginia, and thank you very much for going through this tutorial.